One of my favorite things about photography is being able to kind of escape from everything that's going on all around me and just be at one with nature. And being out there in the woods with a camera and nothing else really, it's a type of connection you don't get many other places doing many other things. And the amount of peace that I've found you can get through photography and that deeper connection with nature and all of God's creation is just, it's something else. It's really incredible. For me, one of the biggest things I've found with photography that makes it so enjoyable is the amount of joy it brings others. And especially in this time of so much turmoil and so much uncertainty in the world, I've had a lot of comments of how much people appreciate the sense of calm that landscape photography, seeing the works, bring to them. And for me, that's really what it's all about. Building that connection with community and being able to share a little bit of what I love to do with everyone else. It is very enjoyable for me, I will admit. I really do love being out here, but for me, it's all about bringing the joy of nature to people who maybe aren't able to be out there all the time and who aren't as fortunate as I am to be able to have cameras and go hiking and just exploring the local lake. And some people may live in a city and may not have terrain like this around for them. Alright, so I'm not sure how long this video is actually going to be or how much is actually going to be in it. Main reason I kind of wanted to get out here today is to just kind of experiment with recording video on the Fujifilm because I haven't really done that a whole lot. And I also just wanted to kind of try out using a different microphone to see how the audio records versus picking up through my GoPro. So this probably won't be my long-term solution for video and audio. It's kind of hard to hold the Fujifilm camera out there at arm's length the whole time, and GoPro's a lot easier to hold out there. And I kind of need the Fujifilm for taking pictures too. I also have my old Canon with me here today. It's a Canon T3i. It's about a 10-year-old camera model, but honestly it doesn't take that bad of pictures. All the pictures I took up until probably around August were taken with this Canon, so if you've seen any of those were all taken with my old camera here. So let me know how the audio sounds. I think it's going to be much better on this video. I'm going to try to figure out a way that I can record better audio more often. And I'll try to get a few pictures in there today. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get around. I might hike a little bit of the trail and see how that turns out today. And the fall leaves, there's still some of them on the tree, some of them are falling, so I'm going to try to... falling. Just rather I said a pun halfway through there. Leaves are falling, and a lot of them have fallen. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful out here at the lake today, so I'm just going to try to get a little bit of footage recorded, see how it turns out. So I'm going to the very end of the small lake here at Silver Lake Park, and I'm hoping that it'll make a pretty neat shot all the way down the lake. Hopefully the leaves have fallen enough that I can get a view through the branches, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so it's probably kind of hard to see because of the sun. There might be some glare in my lens right now, but over my shoulder is one of my favorite spots in the lake. There's a gazebo at the end of the lake here. I'm at the tail end of it. At the farther end there's a gazebo, and it's just so beautiful this time of year. And I have a clear shot. Some of the foliage has died off now, so I'm going to see if I can break out my Canon with my big lens on it. I think it's 75 to 300 millimeter, and try to get a shot all the way down the lake. So we'll see how that turns out here. I just wanted to take a second and just kind of look around this space right here. This is one of my favorite places out at the lake, and it's kind of cool. It's on the Frisbee golf course that we have here. It's kind of hidden within this grove of trees, and it's one of the holes on the Frisbee golf course here in town at the lake. And it's just such a cool area. I got a really neat picture here earlier in the year, and what I did is I used a fisheye lens, so about 180-degree perspective, and I turned it on its side so you get a view from about the ground all the way up to the tops of the trees. And it just kind of bends your mind to think about how the lens actually shaped this. So I'm going to throw that image up here right now. So I lied a little bit. I am still recording a little bit of video with the GoPro just because it's so darn convenient. And what I might end up doing actually, just looking for an external microphone I can use to record audio with the GoPro, because the internal mics on the GoPro are not the best. But I really like the convenience of being able to hold the GoPro out. It has decent image stabilization built into it, and it has a good battery life to it, and it's light. That's the big thing. And it still frees me up to use my Fujifilm for taking pictures. I can do both with it. It's a little clunky though because the microphone kind of blocks the electronic viewfinder, which I really enjoy using a lot more than the screen, to be honest. And it just makes it a little bit bulkier to carry around. And I don't mind carrying both cameras. I still really enjoy using my Canon for a lot of pictures, but it's just convenient to not have to carry both over my shoulder at the same time and switch between them for photo and video. Now, the other problem with recording video and photos on the Fujifilm at the same time is adjusting the frame rate. So for video, you want your shutter speed to typically be around twice your frame rate. So if I'm shooting 24 frames a second, I'd want that to be 48 as my shutter speed. When shooting photos, I'm actually using a lot higher shutter speeds usually, especially shooting handheld. Now the main problem comes flipping back and forth. It's just a little extra inconvenience, and it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I'm still trying out a few different methods of recording video. So that'll just kind of be an ongoing process. I think I'm pretty close to the end. I think I'm going to end up using my GoPro quite a bit and just getting an external mic to go with it. So, but I'll keep you guys updated on that, and we'll see how it all turns out. I will say my one biggest gripe that I learned with this Fujifilm camera, it's a Fujifilm XT3. I absolutely love it, except for the battery life isn't quite as good. So with my Canon here, I did put a battery grip on it, but since it's DSLR, the viewfinder is actually just a straight optical path right through the lens. So by doing that, I don't actually have a screen on most of the time. So I can actually just leave the camera on and it'll last me for a whole day's worth of shooting with 2 batteries in it. With the Fujifilm, it'll last me a few hours before it goes completely dead on me. Now that being said, I'm still only using the stock battery that came with it. I haven't bought more, and I haven't actually drained it all the way. But it's just something I'm constantly aware of, so getting more batteries is probably on my short list of upgrades I need to do in the very near future. You know, it's funny how it seems like most of the best pictures I've taken and most of my favorite compositions I've always kind of stumbled upon by accident. This picture I'm about to throw up here is probably one of the more abstract pictures I've taken, but I just absolutely love the splash of color of these kind of yellowish orange leaves against an evergreen tree. And it was one of those things where I just happened to look over my shoulder, the sunlight was coming right through the trees, just happened to be hitting them at just the right angle, and it just pops. And turn around a bit, and I don't know if you can see it, it's right over my shoulder, right over there. And the camera's probably out of focus. But man, the colors are just awesome. So here's the picture. So one mistake I just realized I made is up till now, all the pictures I've taken with the Fujifilm have been JPEG only. And the reason I do that is when I shoot events such as stuff in my church and around, the Fujifilm has great color, so I can just use the JPEG straight out of it. For a lot of the photography like I was doing today, I love having the raw picture where I can really pull a lot of dynamic range out of it without it breaking up as much. So it's going to make for some interesting editing, so hopefully all those pictures I've taken turned out so far. All the ones I've taken with my Canon so far have been in RAW, so I'm not worried about those. But yeah, make sure to check your settings. So thanks everyone for tuning in today. I know this video probably wasn't quite as detailed as the other ones that I've done, or the ones I will do, but this was just kind of a test. I wanted to test out this camera, test out the microphone, and just kind of get hands-on with a few different ideas and techniques I'm trying out. So yeah, if you like the video, please like, please subscribe. I do appreciate all of your support so far, and all the support in the future. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. Take care.